half aim, point blank, standard. What was this? Plus 10, minus 20? It's minus 10?
Well, if you already added the yes, because of the
Yeah,
MIU.
MIU.
Yep. There you go.
All right, down to
Shoot
44 ammo.
Noted.
So 12 damage, 2 pen.
Nice.
It didn't have the cameras up for a second. I was like, silence. I'm like, still up here.
Yeah, that is just enough. As you finally just stick the weapon down and start shooting into the back of it, it finally like just collapses. It's still latched onto you, but it's dead.
By the way, I like that our positions, me and George's positions, is that I can't see his human figure. So it looks like your gun arm is like my mechadendrite.
He is an extension of you now.
As
I'm like in between.
More
your legs.
man than machine.
Yeah, I just mean that I'm covering like your head and the rest of your body, so it looks like your arm sticking out with the gun. It's my ballistic mechadendrite, just the shooting at this thing. Yeah, there's nothing else left in shooting range, is there?
no, and as you look out across the field, you just see a handful of Gretchen sprinting back towards the trench lines. The guns still haven't fired. However, you do see the giant rocket trucks, and they start to smoke and billow as they launch their payload somewhat at random.
And by the way, just for the sake of imagery, I like how you guys say how indestructible the Tech Priest is. I don't look that much better than Ray Gun right now. Like I probably have tons of wires ripped out and everything. I'm like 4 wounds from 0, so I'm not that good.
But at least you don't complain about it, and that's what really matters.
Meanwhile, I've taken no damage in this attack, and yet I am as bad as the rest of you.
I just wanted to point that out for like, in case you were imagining me as like RoboCop, like completely undamaged by what's happened to me. No, I look as bad as Ray Gun, so I just look like that in wires. So you might think, oh, those wires don't do anything. No, I'm hurting.
And as you guys, as you sit there and you look at all the wires, just like, do I leave them out or do I push them back in? What's the process here? You see the rocket trucks begin to fire up. And let's see, of the 4 trucks...
Yeah, in full nerd mode, I'm like a Bork cube, right?
I'm waiting for the rocket that just annihilates 3 people out of the squad at once.
Like I said, if you survive from over there and we're all grouped up, I guess you're a sergeant now. Battlefield promotion. You
see one of these trucks gets ready to launch, and you see like each truck has 2 missiles, and it's just firing at random. Let's just do 4d20 to see where it rolls. See what it impacts. So we got a 9, 13, 18, and 9. Man, this area is getting pretty hammered in the sort of the western area. Over here, it gets hammered.
Man, hate to be those guys.
Yeah, as you watch yet another massive impact. Slam in right around there. And let me just...
Yeah, I mean, the other observation post is still standing.
Yep, barely. It's hanging in there. You're not entirely sure how many snotlings made it in. You haven't really heard anything from over there. But as you look over...
We can see them, though.
Let's see. Who do you see?
I mean, the Fox guy. Remember, he was, like, yelling angrily towards us. So, we can see them, and they can see us.
The Fox guy's gone.
I just mean that we could see him before. So
yeah, as you look through there, you do see what appears to be a bunch of smoking snotling corpses as an individual with a heavy flamer begins clearing out the interior. It doesn't look like there's much of that observation team left. Similarly, it looks as if you guys have just lost one of your lieutenants.
Promotion.
Oh, wait, you know what? Nope, he wasn't there. He lucked out.
Denied.
As you see this massive explosion erupt as it hits directly in the trench. Meanwhile, another rocket goes flying out, slams into the ground, into the space in between the trenches, and doesn't even detonate. Another one hits the ground and just shatters into a dozen pieces. You watch as the people in the trenches just duck down as bits of like shrapnel go flying through. And then you look over at the other two trucks. One of the trucks briefly is lifted straight into the air as the mechanism to detach the rocket malfunctioned, and both rockets just lifted the back end of the truck and started dragging it across no man's land before it too explodes.
I guess they didn't believe hard enough.
And the fourth truck doesn't seem to work at all. One of the Gretchen gets on top of it, starts hitting it with a wrench, causing it to the rocket motor to finally ignite, and it shoots off, and the Gretchen hangs on for a few seconds before you just see it spiraling down to the ground. The rocket detonates in the sky.
Well, what do we need a tech priest for if we could just smack shit with wrenches?
I mean, that's what I do.
Okay, so apparently you didn't
I
want
literally
your
have that ability.
you didn't want your weapon customized. Noted.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break here. You guys can figure out what to do next. As you guys sit and watch the sort of like field around you, it's just a field populated with corpses. Just for your one section of the North Woods, you can see around 300 dead Gretchen, 100 dead Squigs, maybe another 200 dead Snotling, just scattered out across 250 meters of trenches. And as you look out over here, you can already see that the rest of the defenders of the trenches behind you are already doubling up as they send one of the unit's medics your way. Meanwhile, you hear, was it Dorn? What was your comrade's name, Laszlo?
Braun.
Braun. You hear Braun being like, "No, this is Sergeant Laszlo. Yeah.
And I will then take the.
We're still
box
very much
from
alive." And he finally hands it off to you, and like he just mouths like, "Why would you do that?"
Oh, he was gonna kill us otherwise.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And
Proclaim
as
your
soon as
victory, Laszlo.
Next time, don't pretend to be me.
you hear the major going, "Sergeant Laszlo, fine.
Yes.
Congratulations on holding the observation post. Maintain your position. Be vigilant. It's only a matter of time before they press us again. I'm going to send a medic your way. If you could send the tech priest to the other observation post. I understand that there's a rather tragic turn of events. One of the Voxcasters has been heavily damaged."
Along with an operator.
Alright.
And I'm sure everybody heard that, so he'll just,
He's already on his way.
motion over to
He
Alexander.
didn't even wait.
Yeah.
Damage tech, I gotta get over there. I don't need a medic.
It's funny because each of those people, I was just gonna roll 1d whatever number they had to see how many grenades were real. And the one that finally got up to you guys rolled a 3 out of 3, so I was like, oh, that was alright then.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, very close to losing a ray gun for the second time in Know Your Role.
I don't think he actually got lost during the other game. He survived until the end. He's just traumatized.
The other ray gun didn't.
Oh, well, you give and take. It's
Although,
50%
ironically,
chance.
a machine, though.
We can start the plot all over again.
Alrighty dighty.
So yeah,
Alright.
I believe I had a Vox to fix.
Yeah, you head out and you notice that for the most part, as a matter of fact, let me just stop all of this except for the faraway one. There we go. Alright. As the battle finally comes to a conclusion, you guys look around at all the dead bodies, and your tech priest just disappears because there's important things to be done. There's a machine in need. And as he walks through, you notice that for the most part, the casualties taken by the defenders of these trench lines was exceedingly light. A few people got disintegrated by orc guns, but they don't seem particularly accurate. And other than cratering most of the elevated space outside of the trenches, they didn't do much. At least until you get over to the observation post number 2. And you notice that effectively the entire front end of this observation post has been torn apart by artillery fire. And as you get inside, you look at the Auspex / Vox that's built in here, and even though it's armored, it is just shredded into pieces.
Right, so I guess my first step is I'm going to toss them the 4 empty sandbags I have so they can do whatever to prepare for the next wave. And then,
Yeah, you can. Yeah, go on.
And then get to work on, if not fixing the Vox, then patching it as much as possible.
As much as possible. Roll me a tech use, and you do get the +10 from your combi tool because you're going to need it.
I don't imagine the Mind Impulse unit works here.
It would had there been a port to plug into.
Alright,
Sadly, that port is somewhere scattered on the floor.
And now
it was kind of direct hit.
And now we also recognize that the tech use check marks don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an additional 10, so it's 20. There we go.
Nice. Ooh, very nice.
Which also means, since that's an intelligence skill, that's actually 6.9.
Yo.
So as you go through the assessment, this is fixable. You could definitely get it back into operation. You just need to find some extra parts. Right now, with the damage it had taken, you look at it, the casing is completely like shredded and destroyed. But for the most part, the internals to it, it's just a bunch of shredded wires. For the most part, the actual boards, the computing units are still intact.
The dead bodies that are here from the couple of guys I got killed, the equipment that they have on them, is any of that salvageable? Bleh, salvageable?
Yeah, surprisingly, that stuff is pretty sturdy, other than the armor.
Well, I mean, salvageable to fix the Vox unit with, as spare parts.
As a matter of fact, you can cannibalize part of the las guns that are still there, and you actually use the additional power packs to sort of take those connectors, and basically you have a working, though very fragile Auspex available.
Alright, and I'll get on that as a test. Communicate back to HQ.
Yeah, the HQ comes back, and
yes, this is Tech Priest Alexander reporting in that Observation Post 2's Vox is working again.
This is Major Greymore. Thank you so much, Engine Seer. I'll have another squad sent out to man that post.
Recommend additional... Sorry, what was it called? Rockcrete? Rockcrete. Additional Rockcrete front wall severely damaged.
If there's anything you can do to assist in the repairs, it's unlikely that we'll be able to get any, other engineers out there, much less a supply of Rockcrete in the short term.
Understood. We'll make do.
Fantastic.
I will put the dead bodies into the hole, and then put the sandbags filled with whatever materials have been destroyed from the Rockcrete on top of them.
You use their bones as mortar.
The bones and the bodies. We don't have the facilities to spare anything else.
No, in 4 days, you're never going to be able to find that smell.
Well, of course we will. It'll be hanging out of the wall.
Roll me one more tech use in order to just to get an idea of how well you rebuild it.
So 4.1.
All right. You're able to reinforce the most structurally insecure portions of the wall. It's not great, but instead of being down to offering 4 cover point, it's back to offering 8.
I mean, as you described, it was blown open, so hopefully it's at
Yeah,
least not walk-inable.
Exactly. You've managed to erect a perfectly serviceable barricade system. So it's looking pretty good. The heavy flamer gets to roasting the snotling corpses on the concertina wire around it. However, one thing, as you look at this just completely trashed Auspex, you were able to walk past all the dead bodies of humans, but roll me a willpower save as you see just the horrible ravages that were suffered by this beautiful machine. And here's the thing: as you're going through it, you realize it's like the rings on a tree. You realize that this Auspex is centuries old, and it was made by someone with a level of skill that you could only hope to attain.
Yeah, do you see the decades of rust on it here?
Oh no, not the decades of rust. All the layers of paint that gave it an extra D6 armor.
Alright, just making sure I didn't have any bonuses or anything. I'm assuming this is a fear test of some sort.
More of an insanity test, but yeah.
Dear God, what have you done? Omnissiah, damn you
Could
all!
war truly be so terrible?
What hath war wrought upon us all? This device had seen so much, and asked for so little.
All it wanted to do was serve. You see the other people, as you begin your lamentations, the other people sort of, like, they're pretending not to listen in, but they're starting to turn their head. And, like, this is the guy that used their dead friends to reinforce a barricade that is shaken to the core.
This device is older than any of you. By all means, it should have outlived every one of you. And you let it come to this. Have you no means? Have you no dignity?
Why didn't your men shield it with their bodies?
No, they literally did. They literally did that. Look, there's pieces of the body on the machine right there.
How dare you soil it with your organic flesh?
But you Oh, man.
Oh, brilliant.
So 3 degrees or more of failure. Roll me 1d5.
I just want to throw out there, if there's ever an insanity thing or something like that, there is one insanity specifically called the flesh is weak. I mean, if there's ever a chance to pick it, I would hope that would be the first one on your mind.
You might get to.
Mark down that you have 5 insanity points. As briefly you're hit with a moment of introspection, similar to the ship of Thesis, where you're looking at it and it goes, I mean, this Auspex, this Vox machine, it still functions. It functions comparably to how it used to function, but it no longer has the same casing. Most of the parts had been cannibalized, and from like recycled like lasgun pieces and other like other just supply pieces that you had carried with you as a tech priest. Even some of your own discarded wiring from the Squig attack got put into this.
I don't think the ship of Theseus argument applies here because it would never occur to me, because I would then have to reconsider my own existence as a ship of Theseus argument.
That's why it's insanity.
Yeah,
that is precisely why you incur 5 points of insanity, as briefly you realize the connections between the replacements of this Auspex and your own replacement of your organic form with what you still completely believe to be superior mechanical form.
Well, it is. I mean, that's why I don't believe I could ever fall to the... I mean, this has to be like a momentary blink, because it would just reinforce my own thought process of who I am. You don't think that wouldn't have come to me when they were shoving tubes down my throat?
I mean, I assumed... No.
When they removed my lower jaw so that my trachea could be fully exposed so I could fit more tubes down my throat?
I'm sure
it seems like a good idea at the time.
There's no reconsidering.
This is my life now.
The moment they started putting bolts into my skull from the inside, there was no reconsidering.
No, literally when they replaced your brain to reconsider.
Yeah.
It's just that weird spasm of biological insecurity. You're like, we can purge this.
Gonna have to. I'll erase that memory. That's how I'll pull the Cole method. I'll just erase the memory of the insanity, and it's gone.
No more problems. Alright. So that is taken care of.
Forgot my birthday, but whatever.
Birthday. You mean manufacturing day?
Don't know what that is either.
Your best used by date?
I'm a self-made man. Literally.
Alrighty then.
Did I hear a word of a medic?
Yeah, meanwhile, as you're gone, the rest of you see a relatively fresh-faced young medic rolling up, and you can see he sort of rolls up, he's sort of bobbing his head like, yeah, okay, that. You guys didn't lose anybody. Nice.
Just take a look straight at Raygun, who's like almost has his chest beaten open, and there's just a blast scar in his armor.
Yes, we distributed the harm between our members. More
Yeah, it
equally
was.
than others.
Everyone looks terrible here.
It was strategically distributed.
It's strategically allocated. That was the word that came to my mind.
Can I get some patching up?
Yeah, he goes over to you really quick, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I think I see the problem here. You got blown the fuck up, huh, bud?"
That would be a
Your
good
insides
way
are
to
outsides
describe
now.
it.
He goes, all right. So he's like, "You seem pretty stable. I'm gonna go patch up the other guys real quick before I come back and help you."
Sure. I'm not losing much more blood.
Yeah, no, totally. And he goes back and he goes to you, Sergeant Laszlo, and starts. He's like, "Oh, you got it rough." It's like they flayed you, man. These fucking greenskins. Hold on, I'll take care of that right now.
They're savages, aren't they?
The things we suffer in the name of the Emperor's
Raygun's
glory.
just grinning over there.
We'll see how he does.
Uncivilized.
Not bad. All right, so you managed to heal a whopping 4 wounds, I believe. Let me just double check this so I don't cheat you out of it. But you aren't heavily injured.
So 2 degrees of success means 4 wounds for you. I only have to imagine what Reagan would get being critically injured.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because I remember from old Warhammer, critically injured means getting healed less.
Yes,
And it means taking even longer to recover.
Yep, that is very, very sadly
Going
true.
home early, boys.
So, while the medic is rubbing Laszlo's back and
It's rubbing with aloe.
sewing Reagan's chest back together, I'm gonna make him a grilled cheese sandwich.
All right, roll me your culinary skill. And it's gonna be like a minus. Well, you just get out. You managed to borrow the lad's cutter from Raygun to heat up a bit of slag metal, create like a little thing. So roll with a -10.
You also have to say what your replacement ingredients are for this sandwich.
Yeah,
what are craft singles?
Yeah, but where have you been keeping them?
In my cheese pocket, of course. Where else would I keep my craft?
So that's
the past month of travel and training.
It's pre-melted. It's aged cheddar. It's fine.
Is your cheese pocket down the front of your pants? Is that what it is?
It's wherever I could fit it.
I'm saying there's gonna be something terribly wrong with the sandwich. I'm just trying to figure it out now.
I mean, it depends on how he rolls.
There's never
so
been
what
a
do you
better
want me
case
to-
for joining the AdMech
That's
than
the
him.
cheese pocket. That depends.
So he's gonna grill it on the barrel of his bolter.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll survival?
You know what? Sure. That definitely works.
You can have Braun assist him if you
Alright,
want.
you said minus
Braun's
10.
also a cook.
I burned it. It's just a black sandwich that I just give to him. I'm like, here you go. Thanks for the band-aids.
Yeah, he's not even looking. He just reaches over and grabs it. It's like as you burn the medic's fingers. It's not just charred. It's like as soon as he touches it, his fingers go through it, and the super hot cheese just melts over his hands like napalm.
And that's why Raygun didn't get healed today.
As he takes 2 points of damage, like Mark, fuck.
Whoops.
Where'd you even get your cooking license, man?
Well, didn't you get your standard issue oven mitts?
Yeah, so he only. That is not great. Especially because you notice that this medic, he's already been sort of running around, and as you look at it, this is you're kind of fighting alongside people that have already been in the field for a minute, and you're not sure if his medic pack is even that really useful.
Oh man, you better hope that Sergeant Laszlo takes this whipping for you.
They'll never know it was me. We'll just blame it on Brian.
You better kill this guy now and blame it on the orcs.
So how we looking then?
It was orc snipers all along, I swear.
Yeah, they shot him from behind somehow. It was Ricochet.
There were these purple ones you see.
Killed him with a cheese sandwich somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely how that works. And sorry, he gets a plus 20, so you actually healed 6. There we go.
Ooh.
You got back 6 wounds. Let's see what he does for. Wait, George, did you even take damage?
Yeah, I'm at 8 out of 16 wounds right now.
All right, he's gonna treat you as well. Everybody there, feel free to roll me a logic, like Tactica or War, or Guard.
It's really hoping that this medic was like storied, right? Like he was in the middle of the combat earlier, and he like took half a shrapnel blast. He only had 2 wounds left, or something like that.
Oh, is that like lore war?
Yes, Lore War. Lore
Okay.
War.
And 1 check marks is +5, right?
If you have a check mark, that just means you don't suffer the minus 20.
Okay, wonderful.
Not trained.
Unfortunately,
Hey,
I'm in the
All
other
right.
observation thing.
Both of you are well aware of the fact that the reason he's treating Raygun last is because it's a more complicated procedure, and quite frankly, he doesn't want to bother wasting supplies on him if he's going to drop dead soon. So this is sort of he's sort of giving it a wait time to see just how stable Raygun is before actually treating him.
Raygun's just like eating his sandwich.
I mean, colloquially, we call that triage.
That is the wrong roll.
Yeah, Raygun just like takes some patience here.
Yeah, he gets up to you, Jort, and as he's looking at it, he goes, I mean,
you did burn my fingers.
Yeah, he looks and he's like, yeah, here you go, and he gives you a Band-Aid and just slaps a Band-Aid on it. You get nothing.
He covers your wound with a cheese sandwich.
Yeah, he just sort of wipes the cheese over your wound, like that should take care of it.
You have some
It's
mustard
like brand new skin.
Now, here's the thing that sucks about healing people that are critically injured.
Mm-hmm.
There is a penalty based on every what's the word I'm looking for here?
Point.
Every critical wound that you have, and you have
I got
4. You have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start planning that next character.
Right. So, just as a heads up, I believe it's a 10-point penalty per.
If you were planning on writing any notes home, you might want to start also putting goodbyes in there. Just in case we find your body later, so we can, mail it for you.
No, I'll just remain critically injured for the rest of the campaign. It's fine. I'll be in a vehicle.
Oh yeah, at least
I'm
asleep.
just gonna be hanging out. It's fine. All right. So, this is fantastic. Minus 10 penalty. Yeah, so it is minus 10 for every point of critical damage. So he's going to do this with a minus 20 to try and treat you.
Ooh, okay.
That's not good.
Oh,
He
it makes
doesn't
it
hurt.
worse.
That went down as low as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't say that if I botch this test, you die.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, oh, I wonder.
So instead, he just gives you a dose of stim. And he goes, hey, so he doesn't inject it. He just hands it off to you and goes, just hang out here for a second, bud. In the event that we get attacked, use this. It's pretty straightforward. We handled it so any idiot in the field can use it. You just take it, you press the button, which puts the plunger out, and you jam it straight through your sternum.
Right,
All right.
I read the primer.
And he goes over to Sergeant Laszlo. And he goes, right, so, Sergeant, bad news. There's nothing I can do for your soldier here out in the field with the current conditions. I would advise you to send him back for rest and recovery, if you can stand to lose him.
Yes, I think I would rather he be alive tomorrow than here dead today.
Oh, shoot Lou's loud in the back of the head. It's heresy. Nobody says that. This was a test.
You failed! Lashes!
The commissar is heading up here right now.
It was
He
all
never
a trick.
I've given Raygun his suicide injection. I've lied to him about what it is. Do not tell him a word.
So he goes, I can write a recommendation, but it's going to be up to you to put in the request with the major to pull him off the front line. If you want to take that chance, by all means. In the meantime, I've done all I can for you boys, so good luck. Call if anything changes. Is there anything?
Going to go to the radio to the box and call in. Sergeant Laszlo to HQ, over.
Sergeant Laszlo, this is Major Greymore. Greymore, how can I assist you? Have you managed to locate any more of the Orchid cannons?
Not as of yet. We've just been visited by the Medicae, and Specialist Raygun is too injured to continue fighting. I suggest that you allow him to fall back to the hospital in the back lines.
This is highly unusual. Hopefully you guys can you guys still hear me by chance?
Yes, we'll still hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I also want to point out that it's the same commissar. He's the one he knows that you took the lashes for.
So this actually isn't the commissar. This is the major in charge of the defensive
Right.
act.
So
here.
luckily he doesn't know about that whole thing, unless he stood there in the parade grounds watching.
Which is actually pretty funny that you're skipping straight to the major, but that is the interesting component of being an ad hoc detail on the front line that needs to be in direct connection. So, the major goes, this is highly irregular. Roll command. Let's see if you can... Actually, you have an option. You can try and command the major to send your soldier back, which could have hilarious results.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could try and roll persuasion. Or I guess charm.
I'm going to go for the command, throw my balls to the walls, and see what sticks.
Set them $5. Send it through.
Oh, down the skin of my teeth.
Assuming there was no negative modifier.
So, you tell the major that you need to pull one of your soldiers off the frontline detail immediately. The major goes, understood, Sergeant Laszlo. How many body bags do you need?
My detail needs none.
Don't say one. Just send him back to body bag. It'll fake being asleep or something.
One.
Understood. We'll have the medical team send a kit and litter to pull off the deceased. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Emperor Wilson.
All right. A few minutes later, the medic and 2 other soldiers show up. They're like, or sorry, the 2 other soldiers. The medic isn't there. The 2 soldiers are like, where's the dead body?
Right here points to Griffith to ray gun.
But
I assume that will keep the rain off. Yes.
he's not dead though. Is he, Sergeant? We're here to collect
He's
dead.
just resting.
You can't take me away from the front line. And I'll like try to stand up and then just stumble forward and fall down.
Escort this man to the Medicaid, please.
We were told to pick up a body, and this is a soldier.
He is a
not
body. He is a living body. It's a living body.
They can't go back
Is it
empty-handed. They're gonna have to make a body where one doesn't exist.
As they reach for their sidearm, they go. You see them talking to themselves, like, "Yeah, but he's not dead. He's not a dead body. We're a dead body detail. This is why we brought a body bag in the first place." The other one goes, "Right, but like we already have his name in a list, and if we don't come back with the name, but then we're going to be disobeying orders. That's a hanging offense." He goes, "I mean, I guess it is a body. It's just not a dead body, right?" Yeah. And they go, "This is Private Raygun, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, climb in, you fucking corpse." And they just unzip the body bag. In you go.
All right. Yeah, Raygun is too injured to disobey. However, he's going to take the stem and he's just going to kind of like leave it behind and kind of like give a wink over to the sergeant here.
All right, Raygun, you are put in the body bag. They zip you up, and as they're leaving back, and it's like, it's weird that someone would want to go to an incinerator. But whatever.
I would have thought it would be recycling vats or something.
It's all right. I looked dead.
The Soylent Green plant.
Roll me
Clearly
roll me 1d100. There's no modifiers. I just want to see how good your luck is.
I thought you were going to ask for
Sure,
the roll
86.
80.
Sure, you get settled down after several minutes of walking, and that's it. You're just left there.
Okay.
You listen
Technically,
around.
You could leave the army now and never come back.
Yeah, I mean,
You're dead.
technically you're almost in deserter status already.
Yeah, as this is going on, you hear the footsteps going away. You are still trapped inside a body bag, and the curious thing about body bags is that they don't have a zipper on the inside.
Right, but I didn't necessarily unload all of my equipment either.
I imagine you took all your equipment with you, since to not have it on you is
Would be also a death.
yeah. I mean, it's a flogging minimum, but also if you couldn't get back to it quickly, it's a flogging and then an execution.
That must imply that they have to take the body out of the body bag, unless they also incinerate people with frag grenades on them.
We'll find out.
Right.
So, would you like to try and escape, or are you just gonna take a nap?
Well, I guess it depends on how far they took me.
You were walking for several minutes,
So that'd be like back of the trenches, basically.
presumably.
Okay. I don't think there's any other destination. I guess I'd have to like ask, what do I know about the process they're going to go through here? At which point would probably be a good point to escape.
So, the process you know about is that very rarely do they actually bag and tag and pull somebody off the front lines. Normally, it's an important person.
Mm-hmm.
More frequently, in an active like combat zone, your body might be used as sandbags. And then at the end of it, once like the combat is over, they'll probably take the body, move it back to like a depot, just whatever they have on them, they throw it all in the body bag. It all goes into a pile of corpses. And then eventually, because body bags are an inspectable item, it gets unzipped, the corpse gets pulled out, gets completely stripped of all of the equipment, and is basically either incinerated for the common person in a giant burn pile, or occasionally will be shipped back to the fob or the actual like command base for a ceremonial funeral.
Okay. And right now, here in this process, I've been tagged and they just kind of left me somewhere.
Yeah, you are in the pile of bodies, presumably,
Mhm.
that have been pulled off the front for the past like couple weeks.
Okay.
You're probably not in the burn pit yet because they still have to recover that body back.
Right. So, I'm just trying to figure out how to get to my destination from here, which would be like the Medicaid back at the camp where they actually can do something. And that probably means actually being on the truck until then.
Just want
But
to.
if they've been here for a week, I'm not going anywhere. So
I just want to throw out something that you've heard, Raygun.
sure.
Is that they've put you on a list. You're listed as dead right now.
Right, I need someone to discover me, which means that when someone else comes by later, then I need them to discover me and make the correction. Rather than escaping and becoming AWOL. That would that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, you could be
the
discovering your own
the
PvP.
medic seemed well aware of the fact that you weren't actually dead and was
Mhm.
expecting to find you back at the field hospital. But
Uh
and you know there is technically a temporary field surgery suite here. It's
Mhm.
actually in the same place they store most of the artillery rounds, but it gets the job done.
could I actually just go there? I guess that's my real destination then.
I
They
mean, sure.
pulled me off and I guess I could walk there. I'm just trying to think like, where am I gonna get the least trouble for this? That's the real piece of information I'm looking for.
Just show up at the at the Medicaid, and don't even mention that you've been declared dead. They'll assume it's a glitch, and they'll correct it themselves.
Yeah, that's the best I can do there, I think.
So another concern is if you wait too long, you might be bodies piled on top of you.
Right, that would be worse.
So,
okay.
what would you like to do?
I guess we're going to the field hospital. I'm going to go ahead. I have a knife. I don't need to make a large hole. I just need to make a small one next to the zipper, get my hand through, and then unzip.
All right, I won't make you roll for that. You managed to like drill a little hole and get it, and just move it down a little bit and a little bit, and then
Yeah, and then they
take
just
it down
splits
the rest of the way.
It's easy.
All right, you get out, and you are alive, dead man.
Yeah.
And you find yourself in a giant pile of bodies right back here. Roll me a willpower save as
Yeah.
you realize that like this is the stage before the burn pit, so you're actually just surrounded by a bunch of naked bodies.
Right, so actually staying here would have been terrible. So, yeah, minus 3.3.
Roll me 1d5 for insanity
Actually, I
points.
think I can re-roll that too, if I remember right.
For
Pitting,
fear
intimidation, any failed willpower for fear.
There you go. Roll it again, buddy.
All right, let's give it a go. Hey, 1 degree better. That's
Nice. So you see this, you stumble backwards, and you land on other dead bodies. And as you look around at all this, you're like, yeah, nah. Roll me 1d5.
all right. Oh, I can just type that in. That's right. Oop. Hey, another 5.
Why do you think it is that waking up in this field full of, and these aren't just like pristine, mostly mutilated bodies like the one you currently are in. These are in various states of disarray, and as you stumble backwards onto the ground, you look over and you can actually just see like the head of one of the soldiers leaning back this way, an eyeball dangling on the cheek from where the blast wave sort of
Oh yeah.
imploded.
Well, there's the casual body horror of it, but I mean, I'm already this close to dead. These people could have all been me. The death I had caused wasn't real until I saw a human.
I mean, to be fair, we all come from cloning vats in the Krieg, so they all literally could be
Well,
you.
the Krieg come from cloning vats. We just got hired.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we were
So-
Krieg.
No, you were inducted into a Krieger regiment that was basically under strength because they're Krieg. so they had a lot of casualties.
So we're
So-
bolstering their ranks, and we have to fit into their insanity.
I'd say if we were from VATS then, and half of these people had your face, this could be.
Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be
Even worse.
even more terrifying. But here it's like that could have been me. I'm ammed already dead.
Go. But you managed to get out. Roll me stealth. Or how would you like
Okay.
to get to the medic? Because where you are right now is here.
Mhm.
And where you need to, as a matter of fact, feel free to drag your token over there if you'd like.
Yeah, once I zoom in from 2000%. Jeez, why did I do that?
Oh, that's not the pit right there.
Oh yeah, the green pit is where you need to be going. So this is the artillery bunker that is doubling as the field hospital, which realistically tends to only be utilized for people that are important, like senior NCOs and up.
Mhm.
However, just due to the nature of you being in direct contact with the major, and the major assuming that everybody had that privilege, was just like, yeah, no, of course, yeah. We'll drag your body back to the burn pit.
Awesome. I just banked on someone's ignorance.
Yup. So just to cover quick, I need to write down 5 insanity points somewhere. Is there a part on the sheet that I'm
Yeah,
missing?
there's an insanity
is.
right under your health, I think.
Wounds,
So if you go over there and
Right under your
actions
experience.
load you
It's
in
right under your
artillery.
experience.
That's a little higher up.
Human cannonball.
Yeah, there it is. There we go. 5. Bam. Okay.
Yep.
Now we roll stealth.
That is, if you so you can do a couple different things. Technically, you're not assigned to any units right now. I mean, technically, you're assigned to the forward observation post, but that would mean that you were dereliction of duty. How would you like to get to the field hospital?
Stealth does sound like a good idea. Let's see what I have that I can actually do. I have intimidation. I have vehicles, so if I grab a tank, I could just squish everyone on the way.
So it's
I got
funny-
tech use.
You do see a number of sentinel walkers, which you trained on back in the day.
I imagine they're manned right now.
So they're not actually manned. They are sort of tied down. You know that their pilots are probably nearby, bunking down for the night. But you could try and
Improv
steal a
requisition roll.
Exactly. What could go wrong? What's the worst that could happen?
This sounds like an even worse idea, unfortunately. Unless I
Alright.
could actually do a requisition roll and just say, like, yeah, I'm back here for one of the Sentinel Walkers.
Yeah, I mean, deception is a skill for a reason.
Yeah, and I don't have any of that. So the best I can do is intimidate, and at least as I'm passing by what looks like none of these people are actually sergeants. These are just soldiers.
That's correct.
If I just walk around like I belong here and that they shouldn't ask questions to get back themselves, everything should be fine.
Roll that stealth check.
Well,
Or,
I mean, this is
you're just
walking
gonna
with
walk in-
confidence.
Yeah, gotcha. Sure enough, as soon as you hop down to the trench, you see the soldiers like turn, like what the.
Where'd you
And then
come from?
And then they see your body, and it's you're pretty shredded, and they're like, no, nah, fucking zombies, not today.
That's what I was just thinking. Got you down right there.
You chaos tainted monster. No, and then you see one of the other like older soldiers be like, "You all right, guy? You look pretty fucked up."
I'll just go like, I'm about this close. And
They look at you for-
let's roll the skill check.
All right, I'm also gonna have them roll a scrutiny.
All right, that's mine is 0.5. That's
Which,
much better roll than I've normally gotten on stuff I failed.
but they are not very good. You don't intimidate them, but they're just sort of like,
Right, this isn't about scaring them. It's about saying like it's not your business anymore. I'm already having a terrible time.
right, that's definitely not it. But as they look up, they're like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here." As they walk up to you, like, "The medic's down the trench first left that you come to. Good luck."
It's like a maze. And I'll give them like a I'm almost dead salute and just keep going.
And as you're walking, they're like, "Hold up. and they walk up to you. They're like, let me help you with that, and they sort of like grab your arm and like drag you over there.
I couldn't imagine better soldiers.
He was like, it's like, I didn't even realize any of our guys got hit.
Oh, you should see the other guys.
Yeah, we didn't though. But and at that point, you see the medic from before being like, I got it, soldier. Go back to your business. Which I imagine is jerking off in the dark to shadows.
Yeah, just all the way back here, the back lines.
The
in
medic,
case we fail.
the medic looks at you and basically just lays you down on a. It's not even a real table. It's just an ammo crate that's human sized. And you notice there's a couple IVs that he's attached from the lights in the ceiling, and he jabs one in your arm. And you are now benefiting from extended care.
Woo, care.
Meanwhile, as the rest of you settle in for the night.
Whoa, hold on.
Okay.
Did a Medicaid never show up to the other observation post?
So, here's the thing. The medic was sent to the other observation post when you ran off to the tech. You can try
Well, that's
and
what I'm
request
saying.
another one.
I went to the other one. They never received a Medicaid on their own? Because I've been there the whole time.
No, you've been on the adjacent one, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I've been there the whole time. So
yeah, they actually have no injured people, only dead people.
Ah, well, fuck. All right.
So the good news is they have suffered 0 injuries. The bad news is they're at half strength.
I've literally been waiting this whole time to hear if a Medicaid showed up over there or not. I'm like, God, I'm gonna have to interrupt if they try to end the session. I need a
Good
fucking
news.
Medicaid.
Good news, there's a stim pack I left behind that you can just ask the sergeant for.
I don't need no goddamn stim pack.
If you'd like, though, let's see.
I'm not gonna call for a
one
Medicaid. I'm not going. I know. You don't call for things.
2 platoons. So, if you get back there, there is the one medic from before doing the extended care. However, there are multiple medics because you have at least 3 platoons in this field.
I'm not leaving the front lines. If they're not sending a Medicaid out, then I'm just gonna be fucked. That's all there is.
Alrighty. Do you go back to your original team, or do you want to stay here?
I was told to go over here by apparently the major. So
you were told to fix the aspects.
Right, but I wasn't told to go back.
This is true. Sergeant Laszlo, as the daylight begins to fade, you realize that you're missing one person who you have effectively participated in a miniature version of dereliction of duty, and your tech priest is still not returned. But you can look across the way and you see him just standing there, doing whatever it is tech priests do after they've accomplished their task.
Well, I'm continuing my previous duty of, getting coordinates.
Tech Priest Alexander, please, would you not
Get
join
on the
your
ball.
fellows?
I look over at the guy next to me. I say, I see this guy's mouth moving.
I mean, you guys do have Vox
Working
casters.
foxes.
Yeah, you could. And the funny thing is, you're all on the same comm channel. so that's why you're able to yell over one another.
Well, you remember before when the other guy was on the radio and he's screaming and we couldn't hear him at all, but he's so angry that you wouldn't let him get to the communication.
You go to a different channel.
So, if you'd like, you could call him via the Vox. You could just shout at him. He's only like 100 meters away from you.
Well, I've been too nice lately. I'm going to shout.
All right. Off in the distance, you hear Sergeant Laszlo yelling for you, Alexander.
What? Sir.
Get your mechanical ass over here.
I was commanded by a higher rank to come over here.
You were not commanded to stay, were you?
I wasn't commanded to come back.
No, you were. The positive commands are the more important ones, not the negative.
The positive was to come over here.
Yes, and then not to stay.
It's not my duty to assume orders, sir.
Well,
Sarge, tell him I got grilled cheese cooking for him.
It occurs to you.
Stay away.
It occurs to you that while you do not outrank the major, you do outrank because you're put in direct command of the tech priest. You could just give him a new command.
True. Well, Alexander,
Consider what you do and don't want to get whipped for.
since the major hasn't returned a new order in however many hours,
7.
I give you a new order. Come over here.
May I make a request, sir?
It will be noted.
Could you vox in to confirm those request orders, sir?
Yes, unless you don't have a working box.
It's not my duty to request new orders, sir.
It's your privilege.
It's not my privilege either, sir.
Nobody wants to be left with the hot potato of having to talk to someone that's a higher rank. This is fantastic.
Like, I'll commit crimes.
I'm going to call the major. Yeah, I'll call the major.
All right. As you dial back in to the major, you don't get the major. You do get her adjutant, who goes, "No, the major's better down for the night. Is there something I can help you with?"
Yes, my tech priest refuses to take my orders unless he is ordered by a higher official than major or equal to
Ooh, you
abandon
just
his
snitched.
new post and come to me.
I will shoot you dead before I get killed myself.
Understood. I'll send Arbitus out to arrest him.
No, just give him a new order and
I will
No,
hop.
reprimand him myself.
that's not how this works.
If I see cops, I'm
You're-
jumping over this hurdle and I am coming for your throat.
You're his immediate authority. You're his first line. We don't have any other. The major gave an order to fix an auspex. That order is done. If you give him another order, then that's the order to follow. You have read
I
the
will give you
primer.
until you come for him. Yes.
Page 37, and he starts reading through, like,
Page 37, paragraph 35, indent 2.
right. Actually, you said tech priest, right?
Yes.
I'll be honest, we only have the one tech priest in the AO, so that's on you. Good luck. And he just hangs up.
So,
I say, if you get me killed, I will turn into a whirling dervish of shotgun blasts on your face, and this will not end well.
That was possibly the worst
That was
way
not-
to represent what had just transpired. It's like, yeah, one of my subordinates isn't following instructions. What should I do? Like, you kill him.
Well,
Come on.
step one,
Yeah,
return to officer training school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at this whole being in charge in a hierarchy kind of guy. Not used to it, but I'm learning.
Well, also being in charge in a what's the fascist state?
Yeah.
You gotta
That's
be
true, too.
super in charge.
Go in charge.
All right, then.
All right, so would you like to try and get the tech priest to come over, or you guys just gonna settle in?
Yes. Get him to come over here with us.
How would you attempt to do this? Also, Alexander, I'm not sure. Are they trained in guard or war or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm trained in war. Well, we're Krieg. Krieg are trained in war.
Fantastic.
And
roll
guard.
roll me lore Imperial Guard.
While Sarge thinks of what to do, I pull out a wrench. I'm like, "Don't worry, Sarge. We don't need them. I got my wrench."
Alexander, as you go through your cogitator in your little skull dome starts whirling, and as you like start pulling up not just the actual like guidebooks, but also like UCMJ proceedings, which almost always end up in executed on the spot. But as you go through it, you're like, okay, so I completed a task with, unless the major had told me to under no not to leave until she had said so, then realistically the next officer that comes by that gives you an order, you would follow.
So, here's the thing. This is like the stack when it comes to Magic the Gathering, right?
Okay.
So I received an order of which there was no end state. My direct superior asks me to come over, right?
Yeah.
Not an order. He asks me to come over.
Got it.
I asked him, as my direct superior, to reconfirm those orders, which
Oh,
he
I thought you meant to
agreed to.
reconfirm them by talking. Okay.
Yeah,
If,
which he agreed to, which is
if
then added to the stack, goes above his orders because he agreed to reconfirm the orders of the one above me. So
yeah, Tech
then we
Priest Alexander,
juxtapose
I order
his,
you to rejoin your squad.
and we juxtapose his, hey, my tech priest has turned traitor. We put that at
Immediately.
the bottom of the stack.
Call for fire at the adjacent observation post.
Yeah.
Go.
So when everything resolves, everything in the middle, from the top down, gets negated by the first action, which is my tech priest has turned traitor.
But for the record, you do now have it saved in your data banks that historical precedent, you don't need an end state. An order with an open end state is just if you complete the task is complete.
Go home. Perfect.
There you go.
Open end state.
Starts leaving the battlefield, going
Yeah.
to space.
But yeah, no, you told me to fix the thing, so I fixed the thing, so I left. I don't understand.
Yeah, that was my last order. I figured I was out
Yeah.
of the army now.
You are more than welcome to try that and see how it plays out.
I mean, apparently it's working great for Raygun, who's apparently dead now, so he has no more responsibilities.
Zero responsibility.
Zero
Taxes are
responsibilities,
done.
and I can still shoot things. It's great.
Yeah, you're a rogue trader now.
Boom.
All right, everyone. New system started next week.
All right, but as you guys you have this entire conversation just shouting at each other across this open field full of dead corpses, which would make sense that the corpses would be dead. But as this happens, you guys settle in, and as you get back inside, everyone who's there, roll me awareness. See how you do.
So great to not be under immediate threat on the front lines.
I can't do anything but shoot and stand still.
I'm just not good with
Not
perception.
a single one.
Alrighty then. You guys settle in for the night, and as you try and get some rest, you all this is your first major combat. You're all exhausted. Even the tech priest is running low on juice thanks to the squig ripping out one of his spare batteries. And as you all settle in, you're looking out, you're taking turns in the watch, but you don't notice as many of those green-skinned bodies that are laying dead in the field gradually creep their way inch by inch closer to your position. And that's where we're going to call it.
Still clutching
Ooh.
grenades.
And I'll be the one survivor.
Nah, I'll be fine. Oh, I mean, I'll be fine up until that order of, hey, the tech priest is a traitor gets to somebody else.
Literally the most, like, that is the worst thing you could ever say to someone in a major. It's like, excuse me, commander of the entire defensive line. Yeah, this guy's just saying, fuck you, chain of command. I don't know what's going on over here.
You know, at this point, you know what? Maybe I am done with the admech, because if I die, I'll just find a way to come back as someone who's higher ranked than you, and I'm going to make your life a living hell.
You could come back as a
I'm
commissar.
such prestige.
You
Yeah.
could.
Yeah,
You could come back as the commissar.
the commissar's in town. Uh-oh.
So, congratulations on surviving your first combat. Well
Woo.
done, everyone. It wasn't that bad, right?
Nah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're only half dead.
Well, yeah. So we'll pick up again next week, and you will, I'm sure, have no difficulties with any of the activities that happen. But basically, the way it's going to go is this is going to effectively be how the game is run, where you'll have one session of mostly like downtime, barracks time to try and schmooze your way up with all of the other NPCs to try and get yourselves either new gear or better assignments, or avoid terrible assignments. Possibly gather intelligence on what type of threats are going to be heading your way. And then following that, you're going to have a session or two of trying not to die as orcs gradually make their way into your personal space.
I believe at the end of last session, there
Yep.
was the promise that if we survived this, there would be a lot of XP.
You're right, each of you, because how many of the 5 guns you took out? 2, correct?
I have no idea how many
Yeah.
we took out. I just know we took some out.
You took
I'm
out
pretty
2
sure we
guns.
took out 2 of them. And then like a gun emplacement, maybe?
All right, so you survived a bunch of Gretchen, and you took out the 2 gun emplacements.
If it matters, I think I got the most kills.
Did
It
you?
doesn't. It doesn't. However, calling for fire, you guys have killed many, many greenskins. And I believe, as my dog attempts to pull my laptop off of the desk, this means you guys are getting 300 XP. So congratulations. Add it to the roster.
That's
And
just enough for that one feat that I want.
Perfect.
Don't know what I'll get with it, but I'll find out later.
I've chalked this up to learning experience, and now I know not to throw my friends under the bus with a poorly worded and poorly thought out call to the higher ups.
You know what? Leadership is it's a skill that is learned like any other, and you are doing great.
It's okay. If there's something worse happening, they'll forget about the way you fucked up.
You're doing great. Been whipped for a subordinate's failure. Sent the subordinate to be reported as dead.
Yeah.
My other subordinate is a traitor.
I guess at the least I can't blame you for not keeping a leash on Theta. That's not a possible task.
Your other subordinate burned a Medicaid with trees. Doing great.
Perfect. What could go wrong?
I don't know. We'll find out when the
Alright.
commissar shows up to execute me.
Alright. So then I guess for now, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Any kind of shout-outs we want to do? I think this might be the one no shout-out game.
And shout out to the Emperor for keeping us alive.
Yeah,
I'm
shout out
sorry.
to
I
Emperor.
think you mean the Omnissiah.
The Omnissiah for
Yeah.
causing
The
that
Omni
giant.
Emperor.
By the way, those were 2 artillery guns that jammed when trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
Wonderful.
The Omnissiah protects.
Alright. Well, thank everyone for playing. Thanks everyone
Thank
for
you.
running, and we'll catch you next time.
Good one.
Have a good time, guys.
Bye-bye.